Hey guys, Ron here. It's the first week of our set reveals. VBT10 Phantom Dragon Aeon. I'm not a huge fan of the name, and I'm not a huge fan of the fact that it has Luard and PBO, but I do like that it has Megacolony. So, this week we had a couple card reveals, and I'm going to do this a weekly thing. Hopefully, there'll be like one or two cards to reveal. Talk about every week. I'm going to talk about the card art, card abilities, and how it can affect standard and or possibly premium. That being said, let's get into today's cards. We're going to start with Aethlater Drafter. It's a draw trigger. We can run 12 draws, boys. In standard, I mean, because we could already do that in premium. Yeah, draw trigger, 5k shield, 10k power, on check. Wow, amazing. So strong. So, next up, we got Young Mutant Warrectus, who I can't wait to talk about. He's a new starter, 10k shield, grade 0, when rode upon, draw a card. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 1 or greater, quick shield. Good ability.jpg. Love him to death. He's good already. So we got those two cards, and then we got Destruction Spear Mutant, Dova Speed. Oh, that's such a cool name. Frickin' Dova Speed, right? And then he's got an ability, Auto, Vanguard Circle, Rearguard Circle. When placed, Counterblast 1, put 2 cards from the top of your opponent's deck into the drop zone. And if a grade 1 or greater was put until the end of, it decided to load a thing. Until end of turn, when your opponent would call cards from his or her hand to Guardian Circle, during the battle this unit attacked, he or she must call 2 or more at the same time. This card could be good. Could be. So, let's talk about him, because honestly, oh wow, we got a draw twiggle and a starter. I wonder how that's gonna affect standard. It might just change which draw trigger and starter you run. Congratulations. You might be running 6 draws, or you might be running none. That's up to personal opinion, in my opinion. Talk about redundancy. Anyways, so Dova Speed, still like the coolest name that I've heard from the set, which honestly, there's not a lot of names to say are cool from the set yet. Counterblasting 1, it's not that hard of a cost to achieve in standard with the Colio build. Obviously, you're not going to be counterblasting for much other than like Killer Leaf or Machining Mantis. Maybe even Cyclomatooth. But honestly, I'd say I would want to run this over Cyclomatooth. Cyclomatooth has the possibility of a crit and a plus 10k. So maybe I'd run 2 Cyclomatooth and 3 of this, or 2 and 2 split. Maybe. But this Counterblast 1 for a mill of 2 is actually really strong in the Colio build. If we got a little more mill, then the milling strategy would be a good way to possibly kill the opponent. Sadly, I don't want that. I say sadly, it's not very sad. I don't want the mill mechanic. I really don't like it. It's very RNG based. I've already mentioned this. But it's only a single rare, so honestly, it's probably not the whole like mechanic of Gridora type thing. But if it is, I hope that the marker makes it better. Or something. I don't know. Anyways, obviously it's only when placed Counterblast, Mill 2, and then the Battledore effect can only happen on the turn that you call it. So after you call it, it's basically a dead card. 12k swinger. Wow. Such a big number. Megacolony just hits the biggest of numbers. I can't really see a huge use for this in premium. It wouldn't really get much power unless you called it from Gridora, in which case you are probably counterblasting 2 and soul blasting 2 for this turn already, because counterblast for the Strides ability. You might even be counterblasting for Gridora's on stride ability, but I find that to be like very inefficient. Depending on the opponent and deck, of course. So, that's a cool thing. Anyways, I don't think he'll see too much use in premium, and definitely a good card for the Gunning Colio build. in standard. So anyways, let's go ahead and start talking about the art because this video is already starting to... Anyways, A-Flater Drafter. I love this draw trigger so much more than the previous one. Like, it's just no competition. Hands down, A-Flater Drafter's better. The cool, like, moon with explosions going on in the background, the stinger arm, and then the mutant arm, obviously super cool for a bug aesthetic. I mean, I do love that it's a humanoid bug. That's a thing, I guess. I really like this. The color scheme is pretty. The purple background with the blue ground, of course, the blue wings and more of an aqua green blue mixture for her color scheme is really good. Fits in really nice. I do like that it's only a draw trigger though, because if it was anything more than a draw trigger, I think people would be like, like if it was a crit trigger or the heal trigger, people, I mean, I'd run it over Ranplay. Anyways, going to Young Mutant Warectus. Boy, oh boy, I love this guy. He is so cute. So much, I mean, I'm sorry, I don't love the machining or the way they look aside from Spark Hercules. I don't know what it is about them. I just never really loved, like, Gundam or whatever, or mechanical bugs, whatever. It'd be like that. Young Mutant Warectus kind of reminds me of, like, a little Cyclomatooth, but he's got, like, a gun. He's got kind of like a foresty background. You can tell he's about to shoot because his gun's charging. Ooh, spikes mechanic. He's got the little red cape, and he's got the little like beetle shell on his back. And then he's got the humanoid face and body, which I kind of feel like ties it back around towards like the Cyclomatooth thing, especially if you start looking at the face. You've got the, you know, the... I want to call it ribbon, but I know it's a scarf. Scarf! There you go. He's got the horns. He's got the little bug eyes. It's cute. Good art. 10 out of 10. I love this starter. I'm going to run it in every Megacolony deck I have. Getting on to Dova Speed. His art, phenomenal. I mean, they all are, but I like Dova Speed a lot. Single rare card, obviously you wouldn't expect to have the most amazing art, but there was a lot of detail going into his body and the way he looks, specifically like little extra stingers on his shoulders, like wasp stingers, and then he's got 4 wings, and then they took a lot of detail into the way his chest armor and leg armor was plated. Same for his arms, and then the spear as well. The background for this is super cool, but a little harder to see because, like, you've got the whole wah spear, and then you see whoosh, like anime wah. The background is like this desolate planet. It's angled like this. Sorry, it's like this desolate planet. Kind of looks like Utah, Zion. If you've ever been there, good place. Good place. I'd totally recommend. Kind of looks like Utah, but like alien Utah. So, wrapping things up, because I don't want to make this video be 6 years long, I think Warectus wins this. He has the coolest art. He is going to be amazing. I'm pretty sure he's going to get the SP starter for like the Grodora starter SP pack. I'm going to pick that up because, boy howdy, he's so good looking. Not like I want to, like, you know what, shut up, Ronnie. End transmission.